Well, I'll say this. This is a question from India, from Divya Chakravorty from Bengal, India, on Quora, and he says, "What is your definition of progressive rock?"
Mm-hmm.
So that's the question he's answering. Now let's get an answer. Progressive rock is rock music without boundaries. See, that's something I don't think I've seen.
That sounds incredible.
Boundaryless.
That's what I hope I want. Yeah, I mean that's.
I think that makes Fish a progressive rock band.
yeah.
It seems like it makes everybody one in a way because you're always crossing a boundary. To understand progressive rock, let us first consider the usual stereotypes of rock.
Mm-hmm.
1, 3, 4, or 5-piece bands.
Mm-hmm.
2, melody driven by the guitar. 3, in-the-face sound. Now I don't know what that is. That might be
that's like sound that's like in your face.
Yes, I've never heard that.
That's Teenage Rebellion. That's what that is, baby.
Yeah, that's like heavy duty sound. It's like it's like I guess it's like using like electric guitar.
Yeah, loud. I would imagine it's like loud, amplified. It's like what it's like when people thought AC/DC was like a metal band or whatever back in the day.
And they don't cross a lot of boundaries too. They could probably be considered prog, AC/DC. Groovy rhythm section in 3/4 or 4/4 time.
Yep.
Number 5, riff-based songs with short solos, verse, chorus structure. Number 6, this guy's got a lot of overall short songs, 3 to 5 minutes long. Number 7, influenced mostly by blues music. Now, keep the first stereotype and do away with the other stereotypes. What you get is progressive rock.
Wait. Okay, so wait, what was the first one? I forgot.
3 or 4 or 5-piece bands. So you can keep that one, but you got to throw the rest of these away.
So you're saying
the band has to have members, I guess.
There has to be a number
in
of
order for it
members
to be progressive rock.
But you don't need any of the other stuff. They're basically saying progressive rock. This stuff is the Wild West. You can do anything you want outside of. You just have to have 3, 4, or 5 people.
Yes, it's nice to have 3, 4, or 5 people in your band if you're going to play music.
Yeah.
Melody driven by guitar and keyboard, with many songs featuring wind instruments like flute, saxophone, etc., and other exotic instruments. Which, by the way, I listened to a guy play his didgeridoo in his poisonous snake house today on YouTube for the show later this week.
Okay. Thought you went to the house.
No, I wish. Okay. Number 3, sound is texturally rich. Noticeable presence of synth sounds along with the guitar. There is no fixed texture, and the sound can change dramatically within a song. Number 4, groovy rhythm section and all sorts of complex times, in addition to the standard 3/4 to 4/4 rhythms, which that's a stereotype of rock that you can also use in prog that I still don't understand. Time signature and tempo change can change dramatically within a song. Recently, many prog bands play in complex polyrhythm. Number 5.
No, we don't understand what that means because we don't understand that at all. But Steve, do you understand?
Yeah, I can hold both your hands for that one for sure.
Okay, so that's true what this person's saying.
I mean, it's as true. Sure. Let's go with a qualified sure.
This one also not limited to verse, chorus, and songs usually have long instrumental solos, which is kind of true.
Yeah.
6, usually long themed based songs, concept albums. And then 7, finally. This is rock music combined with blues, funk, jazz, classical, electronic music, and almost everything else under the sun.
Is Fish a progressive rock band? No. Because they are, a lot of the stuff they're talking about here does fit Fish.
Now, okay, I admittedly, and I've been public about this before, so if anyone kind of knows or follows me on social media or whatever, I'm a Fish guy. I'm not as much of a Fish guy as as many. Like, I'm not taking all of my vacation.
You don't go around follow them around like the Deadheads used to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I do think Though, if we are talking about, although as funny as it is to hear someone say that the saxophone and the flute are like really out there instruments.
It's true. It is. It is. Well, Sid Crimston also answered this question, and this is maybe one me and Chris could understand a little better.
Okay,
Progressive
good.
rock,
Speaking our language.
yeah, progressive rock is a spirit. It is a spirit of sound.
Yeah. Okay, hang on a second. I'm gonna close my eyes so I can connect with this.
It is a spirit of sound, music, art, soul, freedom, revolution, faith, and power.
Mm-hmm.
Again, what is progressive rock? Progressive rock is not a genre. It is a spirit of what human beings can express through the sound of music without any limit.
So it is Fish.
Ah, yes. Okay, yeah. This I understand now. Now I get what it is. I was really lost before, but yeah.
I mean,
okay.
you know, we are talking about like Steely Dan here. Like Steely Dan crosses a lot of these like boxes off for sure.
Yes. So like, is there what are? Listen, I am completely ignorant about this stuff. What is actually considered, like, what are famous progressive rock bands?
Rush.
So, give me a list.
Yeah, Rush
is
would be
one.
Maybe. Honestly, I got to tell you, we're going to come up to this later on in the show. There may be some debate about whether
There's a
Rush
lot
is
of
prog or
like, is there any that are like not even up for debate? These are progressive rock bands, like
Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Okay,
I would
so
say
they
probably.
What's the band that that the one guy was in before? Is that also
Robert
progressive
Palmer?
rock? Nah, one of them was in King Crimson, maybe.
Yeah, that band is one too.
Yes,
Tool,
for sure.
Okay.
Tool and a contemporary. Yeah, and I would throw King Giz. I honestly would.
Yeah.
I think King in a contemporary setting, I think King Giz are a progressive rock band.
Well, this guy also says it showed that rock music. This sentence right here is where they get people mad.
Let's
this
go.
Is the good sentence right here.
Okay.
It showed that rock music can be as artistically ambitious as classical and romantic music, but uses modern instruments and formats. So
That's
where they
sick.
just everything, nobody else is exploring any of this stuff, and it's not artistic.
Romantic
Now hold on
music?
a second. Is this person saying like classical as in the era? Because there's the classical era and the romantic era within the Western canon, right?
Yes.
Or yeah, okay, that's what we're talking about here. Okay, so
what's romantic era? What is
right?
that?
So the romantic era is kind of in like the late 1800s. We're talking about like it starts sort of with Beethoven, and it kind of carries in with like Richard Wagner and like some of those sort of like
so
late
those people are not
1800s.
that's not classical music. That's romantic music.
Yes, classical music is both a catch-all term and a literal, like, historical era of that music.
I'm gonna impress some fucking old people.
Here, listen. You know what? Let's do it. I'm gonna stand up here. I'm gonna try and stay on mic, but we can actually go. We can go through and look up some of these definitions from a different source than the one Bryan has.
Then Sid Crimston. We can look at it.
You're
as much as I appreciate what Sid is kind of offering
telling me
here.
you got a better resource than Sid Crimson.
It says he lives somewhere in time and space, so that's pretty cool that he lives there,
Gentlemen.
Okay, what he has? He has the
Harvard Dictionary of Music.
Wow.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I have an undergraduate degree.
I've heard of that place before. I haven't heard of fucking Sid Crimson.
You've never heard it. He lives in space and time.
Okay, right. So classical. In popular usage.
Okay, I do use
art or serious music.
Okay, so any type of art or serious music is okay.
But the period or style that has its tentative beginnings in Italy in the early 18th century and extends throughout the early 19th century.
I can help out here a little bit too. You get a little people. This is often mistaken, but the 18th century, that's the 1700s.
That's right. Yeah, in case you need to.
Because a lot of people like 1800s. That's what they think. But that's where I come in and can help out. Right. Yeah, that means the 1700s.
And the classical period therefore succeeds the Baroque. Baroque. That's our man Bach.
And
Right.
I've heard of like Baroque, like sometimes like modern music, they'll play like Baroque pop, like they'll
Yeah,
play
Baroque.
that, yeah.
Barack Obama.
Yeah,
Baroque,
or as
Baroque.
Jello Biafra said in his Guantanamo School of Medicine, Barack Star O Bummer.
Oh, that's funny.
Jesus, come on, Jello.
Fucking
Well,
look it up.
Okay, so we could say that there's Bach.
Brian hates Jello Biafra. You don't know why?
Shut
Because
up.
he starts licking his lips thinking about Jello shots. That's the only way. That's how he used to. Did you know this? Yeah, he used to drink Jello shots when he got home from work, like people, as if you'd crack, like the way you'd crack a beer.